Hello students, in this video I will complete the remaining part of this drama that I already discussed in some of my previous lecture sessions. So let me continue. Now they have already changed. They did the magic. Mrs. Fitzgerald did the magic once again. Now they came back to their usual self. The right word to say now is that they came back to their usual self. Mrs. Fitzgerald, well, I enjoyed that. Mrs. Pearson, I didn't. Mrs. Fitzgerald, well, you ought to have done. Now listen, Mrs. Pearson, don't go soft on them again, else it will have all have been wasted. Now, my suggestion is that don't go soft on them means don't try to behave in the same manner. Be a bit polite, but at the same time be a bit strict and reserved. Otherwise, if you let the situation a bit loose, they will dance on your shoulders and will behave in the same manner as they used to behave previously. That means now you are in the driver's seat. Don't try to be a bit lazy. Then you might meet with an accident. Meet with an accident here means that what I am trying to say, dear students, is that don't try to be soft on them again. That is what Mrs. Fitzgerald is trying to say. If you try to be soft on them again, they might take the advantage on you and they might humiliate you as they used to humiliate you earlier. Try to be polite, decent, reserved, but most importantly, try to be strict. Now let's continue. They have not had as long as I would like to have given them. Another hour or two's rough treatment might have made it certain, but you got so much depressed that you wanted to change. But I feel like Mr. Fitzgerald is trying to say maybe another half an hour of rough, rude treatment would have made them perfectly polite and they would have abided by whatever you would have told them. I am sure they will do better now, though I don't know how I am going to explain. But how I am going to explain, I don't know. Mrs. Fitzgerald, severely, don't you start any explaining or apologizing, or you are done for. No need to explain anything. No need to explain, no need to apologize. If you do it, you are done. Mrs. Pearson, with spirit, it's all right for you, Mrs. Fitzgerald. After all, they aren't your husband and children. It's so easy for you to say, Mrs. Fitzgerald, because they are not your husband. George is not your husband. Neither Cyril and Doris are your own children. It's very easy for you to say. Mrs. Fitzgerald, impressively, now you listen to me. You admitted yourself you were spoiling them. And they didn't appreciate you. At the very beginning of the drama only, we find that Mrs. Pearson is lamenting in front of Mrs. Fitzgerald when the tarot card session was over. Yes, her family members never ever had given her the due respect that she actually deserves. She was being treated like a garbage, and that particular hint again was being cited by Mrs. Fitzgerald right now, that you only told me earlier that you are never been treated properly. So let me continue. Any apologies, very important these lines are, dear students. Any apologies, any explanations, and you will be straight back where you were. I am warning you, dear. Just give them a look, a tone of voice now and again to suggest you might be tough with them if you wanted to be, and it ought to work anyhow. We can test it. Yes, you have to be strict. I am not saying that you be a dictator every now and then, but when occasion demands, or rather to say in other words, when situation demands, you have to be a bit strict. We can have a demo right now also. Mrs. Pearson, how? Mrs. Fitzgerald, well, what is it you'd like them to do that they don't do? Stop at home for once? Mrs. Pearson, yes, and give them a hand with supper. Mrs. Fitzgerald, anyway, you would like them to do that you enjoy whether they do or not? Mrs. Pearson hesitatingly, well, yes, I like a nice game of rummy. Rummy. Rummy is a card game. Rummy is a game of cards. So Mrs. Pearson actually liked to play rummy. But rummy is played in a group. So she used to lament that her family members, they don't participate with her while she is very much interested to play the game of rummy. So now let's see whether they will be interested to play the game of rummy or not. But I repeat, like a nice game of rummy, but of course I hardly ever have one except at Christmas. Only during the Christmas time they gather and then we play in a group. But on other occasions, I lament because they don't play rummy with me. Mrs. Fitzgerald, after listening to this from Mrs. Pearson, now let us come to the dialogue of Mrs. Fitzgerald. That will do then. She moves towards the door, left that turns, but remember, keep firm, be strong, be strict, or you have had it. She opens the door, calling, you can come in now. Coming away from the door and moving right slightly, quietly. But remember, a firm hand, you have to be very strict. Remember it. George, Doris, and Cyril file in through the doorway, looking apprehensively at Mrs. Pearson because now they are tensed because they haven't seen Mrs. Pearson talking with them in such a rude manner. So now they are a bit tense because God knows what she will say to them. So they are looking apprehensively at her. I am just off to let you enjoy yourself. The family looks anxiously at Mrs. Pearson, who smiles. Much relieved, they smile back at her. Doris, anxiously, yes, mother? Mrs. Pearson, smiling, seeing that you don't want to go out, I tell you what I thought we would do. Since you are not eager to go out, yes, what I thought we want to do that we all can do. Since no one is interested to go out, so I have a plan. We can pass the time by playing the game of rummy. Now, let me continue. Seeing that you don't want to go out, I tell you what I thought we would do. Mrs. Fitzgerald giving a final warning. Remember, be a bit strict. Mrs. Pearson nodding. Then looking sharply at the family. No objections, I hope, if I want you all to be in the house. George, no, mother, whatever you say. George, being the husband of Mrs. Pearson, referring to his own wife as mother. So from this line we can guess how much nervous and tensed he was, as well as Cyril and Doris. Mrs. Pearson, I thought we would have a nice game of rummy and then you children could get the dinner ready while I have a talk with your father. Yes, we'll have a nice game of rummy. Then Cyril and Doris, you can go to the kitchen and prepare the dinner while I will have a conversation with your father. George, suits me. Yeah, I don't have any problem. It is fine. Why, what about you two? Cyril, yes, that's all right. Cyril, I already told you, the boy, he went to the kitchen previously, helped himself with preparing tea and piece of bread. Now, he can cook a bit. But regarding Doris, the drama queen Doris, it is not possible for her to cook because we can presume she can't do any sort of kitchen work at all. Doris, well, Mrs. Pearson, what, speak up? Oh, I think it would be lovely. Mrs. Pearson, goodbye, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Come again soon. Mrs. Fitzgerald, yes, dear. Night all. Night all means good night to everyone. Have a nice time. Mrs. Fitzgerald exits left and the family cluster around mother as cluster means they gather around. They gather around Mrs. Pearson. That is the meaning of cluster. To assemble around, to gather around. Cluster around mother as the curtain falls. And finally, there ends the drama. So it was Mrs. Fitzgerald who played a very pivotal role in making the family members of Mrs. Pearson understand Mrs. Pearson's status, value importance and made them understand Mrs. Pearson's topmost priority in the family. So dear students, the drama ends there. I advise you all to read and revise and listen to whatever I narrated in this particular audio session, as well as in the many audios that I had posted earlier. And if there is any problem, don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you, students. Thank you all.